Travel consideration provided by...
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blend with a prebiotic.
You can't be a millimeter off because you can't open your eye.
Tomorrow on ET, Austin Butler on his wild Dune transformation.
Oh, something else. And we jump from that movie to Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, which turns 27 years old this year.
And fans want to know, could Michelle's billionaire boo return for the sequel?
Oh, Alan Cumming is ready. Good night, everybody.
Take care, y'all.
I hope he's still with Michelle, but who knows? I'm excited about it.
For now, it's all about Alan's hit reality TV show, The Traitors. Season 2 streaming now has been a massive success for Peacock, with viewership up 75% from Season 1.
Bravo, bravo. It's so nice when you do something so random, so left field, and then everyone adores it. It's a win-win-win situation.
Happening now.
President Biden in Brownsville today. He took the time at this Border Patrol station to push the bipartisan border bill. Coming up, what people here in the Valley are hoping the president learns from his visit.
We're in Eagle Pass at former President Donald Trump's border visit to Shelby Park, and here at the entrance of the park, the added fencing and military vehicles is a reminder of its role in the immigration debate. Coming up, what the former president has to say about border security.
Warmer temperatures and even some humidity right around the corner. We'll get to that along with our next chance of rain and the latest on the Texas wildfires. The news at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, the Texas-Mexico border, a political epicenter today as President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump both make stops to discuss key border issues that could sway voters in November's presidential election.
President Biden's scheduled stop in Brownsville to address the need for border security funding. Donald Trump emphasizing his border policies when he was in the Oval Office.
Both been addressing the media earlier this afternoon, and KSAT has been there on the border since yesterday.
Yeah, talking with those who call the border home and are immediately impacted when migrants cross into our state. Our Daniela Ibarra is in Brownsville.
And John Paul Barajas in Eagle Pass. We begin our coverage, though, with Daniela. How's the president's visit going, Daniela?
Ursula, President Biden is wrapping up his visit here to the border. He's actually set to go to the airport in the next half hour or so. The mayor of Brownsville, he says the fact that President Biden came here is a big deal. He wants the president to see how the migrant crisis is impacting his city, leaving his staff overworked and in desperate need of help. President Biden touched down here around 1:30 this afternoon. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas is with the president. They met with Border Patrol agents who told them about what they're seeing here in the Valley. The president spoke at the Border Patrol station, using the visit to push for the border security bill.
The bipartisan border security deal is a win for the American people. And it's a win for the people of Texas, and it's fair for those who legitimately have a right to come here to begin with. It's a win for the people of Brownsville.
We spoke with people over at the International Bridge here in Brownsville, many telling us they welcome the president's visit, including this woman. She hopes the president helps countries in Central America. She believes that could help with the surges of migrants. And the impact of the migrant crisis isn't just being felt here on the border, it's also being felt in San Antonio. Mayor Ron Nirenberg, he actually got to speak with the president earlier today, and right now we're waiting to speak with him. He's actually going to meet with a lot of the mayors that spoke with the president here at the event center in town. So we're waiting to speak with him, and coming up at 6, you're going to hear some of our conversation. We're live in Brownsville. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daniela. Meantime, John Paul Barajas, 325 miles away in Eagle Pass on the border where former President Donald Trump made an appearance this afternoon.
John Paul has been there since yesterday. You said there were some mixed feelings about the visit from locals, but there was indeed interest in what the Republican frontrunner might say. What did he touch on this afternoon?
Well, Steve Ursula, the former president, wrapped up his remarks not too long ago, and he congratulated Governor Greg Abbott and Operation Lone Star about all their safety measures, such as taking over Shelby Park. You can see the added fencing and military vehicle at the entrance of the park, as well as the shipping containers, the orange buoys, and the razor wire. But he also touched on his policies from when he was in office, such as Remain in Mexico, asylum bans, and Title 42. He didn't say if he would push for those again if elected, but did make it clear he didn't believe President Joe Biden was doing enough. On his visit, Trump met with state troopers and Texas National Guard and got a tour of the militarized public park, Shelby Park. Take a listen to what he had to say.
But it's allowing thousands and thousands of people to come in from China, Iran, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and a lot of other nations.
It's important to note that Border Patrol's Southwest sector saw record-breaking numbers in December, but those numbers dropped by about 50% in January. Governor Abbott has credited razor wire as one of those reasons for that decrease, but also the U.S. Secretary of State also visited with Mexico around that same time, asking them to do more. In Eagle Pass, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. And yet another development on the border crisis, a new Texas law that would allow police to arrest migrants suspected of crossing into the U.S. illegally is now blocked by a federal judge even before it went into effect. As we brought you this news on the News at Noon, the block of SB 4 announced just hours before President Biden and President Donald Trump landed in Texas this morning. Judge David Urza told the state of Texas that the law violates the Constitution's supremacy clause, and that it could hinder U.S. foreign relations and treaties. The law was supposed to go into effect next week, and state attorney generals now saying that they will immediately appeal the ruling. Incidentally, that judge does have ties to San Antonio. According to his biography, Ezra is a St. Mary's Law School graduate. And another big headline today. Yeah, it got cold again. The cold is back, if maybe only for a moment.
Yeah, we're on a roller coaster after spring-like warmth. Old man winter dropping the temperature more than 20 degrees below average this afternoon. The weather seesaw not done yet. Temperatures set to take another upswing. Right, Adam?
Yeah, and pretty quickly tomorrow. It's going to be a cold morning, but then tomorrow afternoon, the chill today will be a distant memory. Speaking of the chill today, look at our temperature spread. We rose all of 2 degrees. That was our fluctuation. 46 at sunrise, 48 for the high temperature this afternoon. Very chilly. The average high is near 70 degrees. We did get into the 60s out west along the Rio Grande, 62 Del Rio, 65 Eagle Pass, because we had a little bit of sunshine there. Locally, we were socked in the clouds. Bulverde now 47, 46 Livernia, Seguin 49, and New Braunfels at 46 degrees. Through the evening, remaining chilly. Not a big temperature drop. We're basically just in cruise control. We'll be down to 45 by midnight, and tomorrow morning, some 30s in parts of the hill country. I'll break that down for you, along with the temperature upswing. Spring-like temperatures will soon return, and a unique situation weather-wise around the Panhandle wildfires. We're going to get into that in a moment as well.
All right, thank you, Adam. New at 5, a murder suspect off the streets months after the alleged crime.
17-year-old John Doerr is behind bars in Bexar County, booked for the murder of Jaden Perez. Bexar County deputies saying that Doerr was meeting up for a drug deal, but also had plans to rob the 17-year-old Perez. This happening on New Year's Eve in the 7100 block of Misty Ridge. A witness to the shooting told investigators that shots were fired and Perez was shot in the eye and died right there on the scene. The 15-year-old witness in Doerr's car also hit in the hand but survived.
Check out traffic right now. We're going to take you to I-37 at South Cross. You can see moving very smoothly. This is, not all that far from 37 in Fair. And the reason we bring that up, we've got good news just in time for the 5 o'clock rush hour traffic. TxDOT reopening I-37 at Fair. Part of the highway was shut down and it was open 2 hours earlier than anticipated. Crews were able to finally clear the remnants of that accident that forced the shutdown. That's the video you see behind me. It's a video taken from Drone 12. You can see several TxDOT work trucks across the lanes of I-37 South at Fair Avenue with traffic diverted to the access road. Crews were preparing the guardrail and inspecting the integrity of the overhead traffic sign frame structure. We're told around 6 this morning, a truck crashed into one of those poles that holds up the signs. The impact of the crash causing the cab of the truck to separate from the bed. You can actually see in some of the pictures from TransGuide the pieces loaded onto flatbed trucks. On top of that, police say debris from the initial crash flew onto the other side of the highway, causing another crash. The northbound lanes also had to be closed for a couple hours as well. It was a mess out here. SAPD says in all 5 vehicles involved in this morning's incidents, no major injuries reported, though. Again, I-37 at TransGuide, I-37 at Fair, we should say, is open and traffic is moving.
The firestorm of words appears to be out between the city of San Antonio and the union that represents its firefighters. The two sides sitting down today for the beginning of the collective bargaining process to hammer out a brand new contract.
Garrett Berger tells us both sides are hoping this time they'll just be bargaining, not battling.
Friendly hallway conversations this morning indicated the temperature is not nearly as hot as when the city and fire union last tried to make a deal.
Can't change history, but we can certainly learn from it.
Last time around, the city and union fought for more than 5 years in the courts, at the ballot box, and the negotiating table. Outside arbitrators ended up having to force a contract on both sides. But as they agreed to ground rules today, both sides seemed optimistic that this time they'll figure it out at the bargaining table.
I will note that we have already agreed on 11 things.
Eric Walsh took over as city manager near the end of the previous battle. Now there's a new union president, too. Both say it's a new day.
I think the union has brought a new leadership, and we have forged a different type of relationship over the last couple of years. And I think we're both focused on the same goal.
That adversarial relationship has been resolved, through healthy relationships like we discussed yesterday.
We won't find out exactly what either side is hoping to get until they exchange proposals for the first time next month on March 29th.
The city is keeping its cards close until then. But we already know pay is the way for the union. As they fought the city last time around, firefighters went more than 5 years with no contract and therefore no raise. And the deal they eventually got was underwhelming. Since the end of the previous contract in 2014, firefighter wages are only up about 10%, while inflation has been nearly triple that.
How much pressure does that put on y'all to make sure that you can gain back some of that lost ground?
It's tremendous pressure, obviously. We represent over 1,800 firefighters and paramedics, and we feel their pain because we're also firefighters and paramedics. We're on the line as well.
The current contract expires at the end of the year. Any deal the negotiating teams reach will need approval from the union's membership and the city council. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Also making headlines at 5, catastrophic raging wildfires in the Texas Panhandle now blamed for killing at least 2 people, threatening to destroy more homes, cattle, and livelihoods. 5 wildfires burning across that area. The biggest one, the Smokehouse Creek Fire, now claiming the ominous title as the state's largest wildfire, having burned so far more than 1 million acres in Texas and Oklahoma. The other 4 fires scorching tens of thousands of additional acres of their own. Several school districts in the Panhandle canceling classes, with some transforming schools into donation drop-off centers. For the most part, the fires remain uncontained. Forecasters say dry and windy conditions expected to continue into tomorrow and the weekend, which could help those fires spread, mostly uncontained by fire crews this hour.
Just one day after Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell announced that he is stepping down from that position, Texas Senator John Cornyn officially announcing he wants that job. Cornyn reportedly informed his colleagues in the U.S. Senate that he will run to succeed McConnell. The longtime leader will step away from the position in November, but still serve in the Senate until the end of his term in 2027. Cornyn, meantime, served as McConnell's number 2 in leadership for 5 years. Cornyn says he wants to improve communication and make an effort to include every member in the Senate in the discussion. So far, senators from South Dakota and Wyoming are expected to also run for McConnell's job, and even more candidates are expected to throw in their hats.
It's still ahead. If you have a great mattress to sleep on, but you're still tossing and turning, what you have on your mattress may be the issue. How bed sheets, comforters, and other linens can impact your sleep next.
I'm Myra Arthur with a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Policy in personal emails. That's what we found in another round of hundreds of messages between the Bexar County District Attorney and the Wren Collective. That's an Austin-based criminal justice reform group. We've been asking questions for weeks about their relationship and any possible influence with the DA's office. What this round of messages reveals. Plus, Doc Talk is today on the news at 6. It's where we take medical questions to local doctors. And today, it's all about kids. That's today at 6.
So how did you sleep last night? If you're tossing and turning, it may not be the mattress.
Yeah, sheets and comforters matter too. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has some dreamy recommendations if you're ready for a bedding refresh.
Fancy sheets won't fix a bad mattress. The reverse is also true.
A good mattress is not going to make up for the fact that your linens aren't comfortable or breathable, or if you have allergies, if they're not hypoallergenic.
Consumer Reports' Tanya Christian spent 4 months trying out 6 popular duvets, some made from down, others from down alternatives.
Down comforters are made from the underside of waterfowl. They tend to be breathable and lightweight, and they're great if you tend to sleep hot. They're also very durable, but some people do have an allergy to them. So if you're one of those people, or you simply want a down alternative, you're going to go for one that's maybe made of cotton, polyester, or microfiber.
You can spend hundreds on a luxury favorite like this down comforter from Brook Linen. But Consumer Reports found some lower-priced options. This Buffy cloud comforter made from recycled plastic bottles was a favorite for its silky feel. For something a bit more lightweight and breathable, they recommend this down alternative comforter from Quince. This Utopia isn't as breathable or as soft, but CR says it's light and airy, and the price makes it nice for a guest room. Now Sheets. CR tested for shrinkage, strength, and fit. They found these low-cost microfiber sets are strong, but not so breathable. Cotton and linen breathe well. This LLB cotton percale set got top marks. They do wrinkle, though, so keep that in mind if that will keep you up at night. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Well, with this cold temperature out there, we're going to sleep good tonight. Open the windows.
You think it's just the weather? Yeah, open the windows at 47. Yeah, it won't be open long.
Ursula said it. I didn't, okay? Though.
You don't love it when it's cold outside?
I do.
Do you sleep well?
I do. These are my favorite kind of nights.
Do you open the windows?
No, I don't go that far. But I do enjoy camping in this weather. At our mountain bike tournaments for NICA, camping in this weather, it's my favorite. So good. Anyway, that's a different story. Let's get to something serious here and talk about the wildfires in Texas. We had that story earlier in the newscast, but I want to show you a little different vantage point and some updated information. Estimated 1 million acres from the Smokehouse Creek fire. We talked about that. It's only 3% contained, and now it is the largest wildfire in Texas history. It surpasses the East Amarillo Complex fire from March of 2006 that had over 900,000 acres burned, and unfortunately that had 13 deaths associated with it back in 2006. Now here's something interesting that greeted these fires today. Luckily some precipitation, but notice the key word, precipitation. There was snow falling on top of these wildfires and on top of the burn scar, but it's my opinion that snow was changed over to rain due to the heat from those fires. This is just one radar snippet at 9:32, and the burn scar here is basically from Canadian westward all the way toward Borger and some fires around here. Now I'm going to give you an animation. Notice as the snow moves in, it transitions this morning, right around those fires, transitions to that green color indicating rain. The radar is seeing a change there, a phase change, and also the brighter yellow colors, meaning higher intensity of precipitation, likely what we call bright banding. The melting of snowflakes gives you those higher signatures, those bigger signatures on radar. So I'm convinced it was the fires that was causing the melting of the snow just north of Amarillo today. Precip potential, not that high, but I do have better confidence that around here we could get into some thunderstorms by Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and Monday night. Updated that to 40%, so scattered activity at that time. Temperatures across the state, 38 Amarillo, 44 Abilene, 48 here in San Antonio. In the low to mid 60s along the Rio Grande where we have some sunshine. Tomorrow morning, mid 30s in the Hill Country. Even Hondo at 39, 41 Carrizo Springs, San Antonio, 43 degrees in the morning. So a chilly start to the day tomorrow. Timberwood Park, Leon Springs, you'll be 39 at 7 a.m. By noon, though, we're up to 62 and then sunny and 72. Really a beautiful afternoon. Not much of a breeze either. Making it to 75 in Castroville tomorrow, Floresville, 73 for the high temperature. Morning fog this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, fairly gray, just a 10% chance of a little shower or storm, but I think we'll be too capped. It's Monday that we're focusing on now for our best potential of some showers and storms popping up. 39 days until the total solar eclipse. Today's factoid coming up at 6 along with our newest drought monitor.
All right, Adam, thank you.
All right, the rodeo road trip is over. The Spurs are back inside the Frosty. Let's go there and check in with Larry Ramirez. Larry.
Yeah, hey guys, so some of the Spurs are slowly trickling out on the court, warming up, getting ready to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. And you know what? Victor Wembanyama says that he's motivated seeing how the Thunder are doing this year compared to the past couple of seasons when they missed out on the playoffs. And Oklahoma City, they have a pretty impressive defensive streak going on post All-Star break coming up. The Spurs are back home, everybody, and they're ready to play some basketball. Good evening and welcome live to the Frost Bank Center, where tonight the San Antonio Spurs will take on the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Spurs' first home game in nearly 1 month. And you know it feels good for the Spurs to be back home with their family and friends and sleeping in their own beds. So the Spurs last played at home Saturday, February 3rd, losing to the Cavaliers 117-101, and then they hit the road for the 9-game rodeo road trip. They closed out the roadie Tuesday night, losing at the T-Wolves 114-105 to finish the trip 1-8. Tonight, the Spurs will play the Thunder, a playoff-bound team this season after 3 down seasons. So, to seeing them excel give Wemby hope the Spurs can do the same down the road.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I don't have any doubt, but it gives me also hope and inspiration for the whole league. You know, it shows that, I mean, the NBA is really one of a kind in this matter. You know, because it's sometimes it takes many years for teams to get back on the competitive level, but they eventually make it, and it's inspiring.
It is inspiring indeed. So the Thunder come to town with the second best record in the Western Conference, 1.5 game behind the Timberwolves. So it looks like the chase for that top seed is going to go down to the wire. Now, like the Spurs, the Thunder also last played on Tuesday night when they beat the Rockets 112-95. They're winners of 6 straight, and in their 4 games following the All-Star break, the Thunder have not allowed the other team to score 50 points in the second half.
Yeah, we just know that's where we want to hang our hat every night. No matter what or how the ball's bouncing in and out the rim or what's going on, if we defend, we give ourselves a chance, and we know that. And when we're doing that in the first half, we try to continue to do so, and when we're not, Coach tells us, and we try to get back on track with that at halftime.
Credit to everybody. The coach has given us good adjustments at halftime, and the players that step on that court. Not only the first 5, but the guys who sub in that third quarter too. Everybody's ready to roll. Obviously we can always be better, like tonight, but I feel like everybody's kind of locked in at all moments.
All right, the Thunder and Spurs will play ball tonight at 7:30. San Antonio did not hold a morning shoot-around. More Spurs Thunder coming up at 6, and we'll be right back after the break.
Oh, we're going into the factoid right now. 39 days till the total solar eclipse. Earth will no longer have solar eclipses in about 600 million years. That is due to the slowing of the Earth's rotation and the moon moving farther away.
All right, mark your calendar.
600 million years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
World News is next. See you. It's
just around the corner, huh?